What is going on, New York Giant fans? Welcome back to another video here on the Big Blue in the Bronx YouTube channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops video drops. Appreciate you coming back. Check out some of our Senior Bowl content, interviews, the game recap, the practice recaps, as well as some of our other content, as we did a Yankee stream most recently, and also mock off season coming up and a Giant stream coming up as well. So a lot of fun stuff as the off season persists, and also we got spring training content coming soon. So wanted to do a phone video rather than just, hey, we're gonna go on a computer and it's gonna take so long to upload. I just wanted to get my thoughts out on my iPhone here. So last few weeks has been pretty much muddied with Matt Stafford of the Giants rumors. I did a video and I said that Matt Stafford is not a fit for the New York Giants. Obviously, question mark, is Matt Stafford fit? I concluded Matt Stafford is not a fit because of his age, the Giant situation, et cetera, right? And that came to a screeching halt, or you could say the curtains closed on all those scenarios today. Matt Stafford and the Rams, they worked out a restructured contract. So, the Giants have shifted their attention, according to Diana Rossini, to Aaron Rodgers, the former Jets and Packer quarterback. Now, there's two scenarios that this could be. Are the New York Jets, are the New York Giants doing their due diligence, or are they desperate? Because of the situation that they are in, I would like to think the latter, that they are desperate. Because, sometimes you do due diligence, but it just seems like, they're very, very staunch in hitting the home run because they're trying to save their jobs. There's been talk of Stafford, obviously. There's talk of Rodgers. There's even been talk of them trading up, which honestly I wouldn't be opposed to. But it's interesting to me to see all these different folks out here kind of soften themselves to the idea of bringing in Aaron Rodgers, whether it's a year or 2 years. And to me, it makes no sense at all. It makes no sense at all. It makes Joe Schoen look desperate. It makes this organization look very silly. Let's go through the history of Aaron Rodgers over the last few years. He got Mike McCarthy fired in 2018 after they finished like 4-8, 4-9 before they had the interim head coach in Joe Philbin. Rodgers and Mike McCarthy, not good relationship at that point, got him fired. 2020, Matt LaFleur goes in, they draft Jordan Love. And Aaron Rodgers is not a big fan of that. Doesn't really mentor him. And then, after 2022, he is given permission to seek a trade, and he gets himself traded to the New York Jets, who at this point are done with Zach Wilson. And, well, I guess they weren't done with Zach Wilson at that point, but they wanted a change at quarterback because they felt they were quarterback away. So, preceding that, they bring in Nathaniel Hackett as offensive coordinator. They fired Mike LaFleur. They also brought in Alan Lazard via free agency, who is a big buddy of Aaron Rodgers. I don't think they brought in any other Green Bay guys. Maybe they did. I don't know. I don't know every single detail. So, he gets the glory, gets the fame, whatever. Tears his ACL in September. So, pretty much that. And that's the end of that for him. He continues to go on the McAfee show. Meanwhile, his buddy Nate Hackett is a shit play caller for the Jets. He cannot adjust to Tim Boyle's ass, obviously, as we've seen. Zach Wilson's not good. I think they had another quarterback in there, Trevor Siemian. And, those three guys weren't good, but Nathaniel Hackett was not doing anything to really muster up the offense. He was a shit play caller. Let's keep it 100%, right? And it's not like he was known as this great play caller across the league and the Jets suddenly just trashed him. No, he was semi-decent with the Jaguars and Blake Bortles. He got a lot of credit that he did not deserve in Green Bay because guess what? Matt LaFleur, Mike LaFleur's brother, was the play caller and as the head coach, even though Hackett was the OC. And even Rodgers, right? He's a guy that sometimes likes to call his own plays an audible. So there's that. You move to 2024, right? Anticipated year. Obviously, Jets fans have the expectations, 10 wins, whatever. They have their thoughts about Salah, Douglas, whatever. All right. So By week 5, Robert Saleh is fired. Aaron Rodgers throws a game-winning interception in London, and Robert Saleh's fired. Right off the bat, they were 2-3 at that point, which is really not a record you should fire the head coach at. Then the next week, he proceeds to throw the game-winning interception against the Buffalo Bills with Jeff Ulbrich as the head coach. And at this point in the game, even leading throughout the season, you have two disgruntled wide receivers. You have Garrett Wilson and you have Mike Williams. Mike Williams was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, or he was released and signed by the Steelers. I think he was traded to the Steelers. And he had a much better time over there. He even put some cryptic Instagram posts kind of targeting Aaron Rodgers and the usage, because at that point in the game, Allen Lazard was being more used. All these different guys were being more used. And by the way, also as well, going back to the Green Bay guys, 2023 is also when they signed Randall Cobb, who was completely ass. But you go back to 2024, Garrett Wilson is not used a lot. They bring in Davante Adams for, I think it was a second or a third round pick. And he's used all these different things. And Garrett Wilson, not happy. They finished 5-12, not a playoff team, but they finished worse than they did the year prior when Rodgers tore his ACL, which is kind of interesting, right? And Joe Douglas is fired in the middle of the season, a couple weeks after the Davante Adams acquisition, which was all done by Rodgers and Woody Johnson. So there were reports mustering at the end of the season, dependent on the return of Aaron Rodgers, whether Garrett Wilson would request a trade or not. If Rodgers were to come back, Wilson would request a trade. If Rodgers were to depart and the Jets were saying, would say, okay, it was nice, goodbye, which the Jets have done, Garrett Wilson would be more willing to come back to the organization, which seems fair. Garrett Wilson, top 10 pick, of the 2022 draft, and he didn't feel valued. And he's a very, very good wide receiver. I don't know if I would call him great yet, but he's a very good wide receiver. And how people sit here and ignore that and just say, oh, it's 1 year of Aaron Rodgers. That's not what Aaron Rodgers is going to come in here to do. Like, he's going to pull wool over the Giants fans and the Giants front office's eyes, as well as the coaching staff, right? He's going to pull wool over their eyes. They're going to think, okay, we're going to get 1 year of Aaron Rodgers and we're going to slide this rookie quarterback in. Going back to my point earlier, when has Aaron Rodgers willingly came out there and mentored a quarterback? When has he not given a fuss and a muss, right? Are we going to really sit here every Tuesday and watch him on Pat McAfee and give all these different responses and make all these claims and shit like that? Like, however you feel about football, politics, whatever. That's not a distraction that the Giants need, especially when you got a head coach and a GM on the hot seat, right? How much is Rodgers going to cost? He signed a 2-year, $75 million contract with the Jets, restructured after the trade. That's about $37 million. Is Rodgers really going to come in at 1 year, $20 million? The Giants don't have much in cap space. They need to go out there and sign a corner. They need to go out there, maybe sign an offensive lineman. They need some other, areas to be filled responsibly with depth guys. So to sit here and spend $20 million, maybe even $30 million on Aaron Rodgers is crazy. And then bring in Davante Adams, because that's going to happen. People will be like, oh, it's not going to happen. It's going to happen. Rodgers will want say, then he's going to bring over Davante Adams. The Giants will sign Allen Lazard, telling us that, we need a big body receiver. Robert Tunyon's going to come along because he's been on practice squads. It's going to turn into the plaster cast of the 2015 Green Bay Packers. And to even think of this as an option when you bring in a rookie quarterback in here, it doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't. If you wanted to bring Stafford in here, disagree with it, but he's not a guy who's a head case. His wife has the podcast, so that's a little bit more of like the worry side of things in terms of PR and whatever. But Stafford, he played in a shit situation in Detroit multiple years, comes over to the Rams, wins a Super Bowl. And you bring Aaron Rodgers in here, that's so much worse. Like, why not sign a Russell Wilson, right? Why not sign a Justin Fields or a Jameis Winston who's cheaper? The Giants should be using this as a throwaway year anyway. Like, to me, I could say this is Joe Shane, Brian Dable, and I think it definitely is because they have to have a say. But I think John Mara doesn't know what he wants. He wants to see some progress, but he also wants to see wins. So the responsible decision, in my opinion, would be get a veteran like Justin Fields or Russell Wilson, and then come in and pick Cam Ward or Shador Sanders in the top three. Trade up or whatever. Do what you want. But to bring Aaron Rodgers in here, to have that extra distraction and have him bring over his goons from Green Bay is extremely irresponsible. And it's a decision that, mark my words, Joe Shane and Brian Dable will absolutely freaking regret because it will cost them their jobs. So the Giants have interest in Aaron Rodgers. This is my little short video talking about the reports and stuff like that. Supposedly, the Giants have been doing due diligence because Connor Hughes said that the Giants have went around with the Jets, have went around to Jets coaches and Jets players and Jets assistants asking about Aaron Rodgers, and the Giants were given rave reviews. Yeah, so many rave reviews that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be a Jet in 2025. So, like, it's fool's gold. It's absolutely fool's gold. But if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops video drops. Again, wanted to do a short video talking about this. Sorry that there's no usual graphic or something like that. I just wanted to get a quick video out for you guys. Just talking about these reports and discussing my frustration with these reports as really makes the Giants look like a desperate organization. But we got content coming out for you guys within the next few days. Definitely a mock-off season as we approach March, free agency, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon.